Ever get the feeling that some people are like trying to outrun adulthood? Like they're stuck in this perpetual state of almost, but not quite.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just about being youthful or playful.
Right.
It's more like dodging the weight of real responsibilities. Maybe even like the emotional depth that comes with growing up.
Yeah.
And that's where our deep dive takes us today.
Okay.
Straight into the heart of Neverland.
Neverland.
Yeah, you know that magical island from J.M. Barrie's Peter Pan, where children never grow old? We're using this classic tale as a lens to understand why some folks seem hesitant to leave that Neverland mindset behind.
I like that.
So think Peter Pan, the boy who never grows up. Captain Hook, forever haunted by time.
Yeah.
Wendy, torn between the allure of Neverland and the pull of a more grown-up world.
Right.
By unpacking these characters and their choices, we're going to explore what it truly means to mature.
Okay.
And why that process can be so challenging for some.
You've hit upon something really intriguing with that. The Peter Pan archetype, that ageless child, resonates with us because it reflects a longing for a time when possibilities felt limitless.
Okay.
Think back to childhood. No mortgages, no career pressures, just pure, unadulterated potential.
Yeah, the world was our oyster, you know, staying up late, reading comics, building forts out of blankets.
Yeah.
But we eventually outgrow those blanket forts, right?
Right.
At least most of us do.
And that's where things get interesting.
Okay.
Modern society, especially here in the U.S., often extends this period of potential without demanding real-world commitment. Take universities, for example.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you're encouraged to explore different fields.
Find your passion.
Find your passion, exactly.
Yeah.
But for many, it also comes with a hefty price tag.
Yep.
Student loan debt.
Oh, yeah?
It's almost like we're being sold this extended adolescence, this pleasure island, where the consequences of our choices, financial and otherwise, are delayed.
Ooh, like a ticking time bomb of adulting.
Precisely.
Wow.
We're allowed, even encouraged, to postpone true responsibility,
Right.
all the while accumulating debt that will impact our future selves.
Yeah.
It's almost like we're robbed of our future selves while pretending to have an identity.
It's wild, isn't it?
It is.
So we're set up to crave that Neverland freedom, that sense of endless possibility.
Right.
And, you know, I see echoes of that in all sorts of behaviors.
Like what?
Like clinging to dead-end jobs,
Wow.
swiping endlessly on dating apps, avoiding any real emotional commitment.
Yeah.
It's like commitment itself becomes Captain Hook, this fearsome figure representing all the things we're trying to avoid.
That's a brilliant observation.
Oh,
because
yeah.
Captain Hook embodies everything we fear about adulthood.
Oh, really?
Tyranny, rigidity, being consumed by the relentless march of time, symbolized by that ticking crocodile.
Okay, that crocodile is seriously creepy.
It is a little creepy.
But I get it. Hook represents that fear of becoming jaded, bitters, trapped by the choices that we've made.
And it's important to recognize that Hook's tyranny likely stems from his own unresolved trauma.
Oh, okay.
He's constantly reacting to the fear, the pain of his past.
That's interesting.
Peter, on the other hand, wants to avoid facing any of that.
Wow.
He wants to stay forever young, forever free of consequence.
But is that even possible?
Right.
Can we truly mature without confronting those darker aspects of life,
Wait.
without risking some level of hookification?
That's the question, isn't it?
Yeah, because let's be honest, none of us want to end up as bitter, tyrannical pirates.
Wait, exactly.
All right, I'm officially hooked.
Okay.
Tell me there's a way out of this Neverland dilemma.
Oh, there is.
Okay.
But it requires a shift in perspective.
Ooh, I like it.
We need to reframe the idea of limitations not as something to fear, but as the very foundation for genuine growth and fulfillment.
So instead of seeing limitations as closing doors,
Yeah,
we should see them as pathways.
exactly.
That's an interesting thought.
It's like this, even Peter Pan, with all his eternal youth, faces limitations.
Okay.
He can never have a truly reciprocal, mature relationship with Wendy because he refuses to grow, to change. He's frozen in a state of perpetual boyhood, unable to experience the depth of an adult connection.
So in a way, he's trapped by his own refusal to accept limitations, which ultimately limits his ability to experience real joy, real connection.
Precisely.
Wow.
And here's the fascinating part. We all have to choose limitations, whether we do it consciously or by default.
Right.
Every decision we make closes off other possibilities. The difference lies in choosing our limitations consciously.
Okay.
That's where we gain agency, purpose, and direction.
It sounds like you're saying that by choosing our limitations, we're actually choosing our freedom.
Exactly.
Right.
Instead of being swept along by the currents of life, we become the captains of our own ships, charting a course toward what truly matters to us.
I like that.
Let's make this concrete for our listeners. Choosing a career path, for example, means saying no to countless others.
But it also means saying yes to something you're passionate about.
Yay.
And committing to a relationship. Well, that means letting go of certain freedoms, like spontaneous trips to Vegas.
But it also means embracing a deeper, more fulfilling kind of freedom. The freedom that comes from shared experiences, vulnerability, and deep connection.
Okay, I'm starting to see the appeal of limitations. But what about the folks who just avoid making those choices altogether?
Yeah.
They're not actively rebelling against limitations.
Right.
They're just floating.
And the consequences of not choosing can be far more daunting than the limitations themselves.
Really?
Imagine someone in their 30s still behaving like a 22-year-old.
Ouch. Now I've met a few of those old infants you're describing.
Right.
It's like they're stuck in a perpetual state of adolescence, unable or unwilling to cope with the demands of adult life.
Yeah.
It's not charming. It's kind of sad.
It is sad because they've clung to the illusion of limitless potential for so long that they fail to develop the resilience and skills needed to navigate the real world.
So it's not about losing our spark, our sense of adventure.
Right.
It's about channeling that energy, effectively finding a purpose that gives our lives meaning and direction.
Absolutely. Maturation isn't about becoming dull and boring. It's about harnessing our passions and directing them towards something truly fulfilling.
Okay.
It's about choosing to become something rather than remaining a perpetual possibility.
I love that idea, choosing to become something.
Yeah.
It's like we're transitioning from aimlessly floating around Neverland to embarking on a purposeful journey. And that brings us to the idea of apprenticeship, right?
Yeah.
Instead of just dreaming about possibilities, we're actively learning and building skills in the real world.
Yes, it's about finding a skill, an area of knowledge that you're passionate about, and dedicating yourself to mastering it.
So like a trade.
Think about traditional apprenticeships you learn from a master craftsman, honing your skills over time, contributing to something larger than yourself.
It's like trading the hazy magic of Neverland for the tangible magic of creation, of building something with your own two hands.
And that's where a new kind of magic emerges, the magic of competence, of purpose, of contributing to something meaningful.
I like that a lot.
It's like choosing an apprenticeship unlocks hidden doors, revealing pathways you never knew existed.
Okay, listeners, I want you to think about this. What apprenticeships are you drawn to in your own life?
Yeah.
What skills, what crafts, what areas of knowledge spark your curiosity and make you want to dive deeper? Maybe it's writing, maybe it's coding, maybe it's building furniture, maybe it's becoming a master gardener.
The possibilities are endless, and remember, it's never too late to embark on an apprenticeship.
Right.
It doesn't have to be a formal program. It could be a self-directed journey of learning and growth.
So are we saying that the key to escaping Neverland, to embracing a more fulfilling adulthood, is to find our own personal apprenticeship?
Yeah.
To commit to mastering a craft, a skill, an area of knowledge that resonates with us.
That's a fantastic way to put it. It's about finding that thing that calls to you, that sparks your passion, and dedicating yourself to becoming really good at it.
So it's not just about picking up a new hobby or dabbling in something.
Right.
It's about going deep, embracing the challenges and the triumphs that come with true mastery.
Exactly. And that journey of mastery, that's where the real adventure lies.
Okay.
It's where we discover hidden talents, push past our perceived limitations, and experience the profound satisfaction of creating something truly meaningful.
It sounds like you're saying that the key to a fulfilling life isn't about avoiding adulthood, but about approaching it with a sense of curiosity and a willingness to learn and grow.
Precisely. It's about embracing the complexities of life, the good and the bad, and finding ways to channel our energy and passions into something that brings us joy and contributes to the world around us.
All right, we've covered a lot of ground today.
We have.
We've explored the allure and the danger of prolonged adolescence,
Yeah.
the power of choosing our limitations, and the transformative potential of finding our own personal apprenticeship.
And we've seen how the Peter Pan story can serve as a powerful metaphor for the challenges and triumphs of adult development.
Yeah.
It's a reminder that we all have a choice to remain stuck in Neverland, clinging to the illusion of endless possibility, or to embrace the journey of growth and become the authors of our own stories.
It's been an incredible deep dive, and I have to say I'm feeling inspired But before we wrap up,
Yeah.
I want to leave our listeners with one final lingering thought. What part of you is still stuck in Neverland?
That's a powerful question for all of us to ponder.
Yeah.
It might be a relationship you're avoiding, a career you're putting off, or maybe just that nagging feeling that you're not quite living up to your full potential.
Whatever it is, I encourage you to embrace the challenge of growth, of stepping out of Neverland and into the fullness of your own unique adulthood, to find that apprenticeship that calls to your soul and dedicate yourself to mastering it.
Beautifully said, and remember, the journey of maturation is ongoing. There will be times when we feel the pull of Neverland, the temptation to retreat from responsibility. But with awareness and intention, we can navigate those challenges and continue to evolve into the best versions of ourselves.
So true. It's like we're all on this grand adventure, figuring it out as we go. And sometimes we need a little reminder that growing up doesn't have to mean losing our sense of wonder and possibility. It's about finding a new kind of magic, the magic of purpose, mastery, and meaningful connection.
Couldn't have said it better myself. It's been a pleasure exploring these ideas with you.
The pleasure was all mine.
Hank.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into Neverland and beyond. Everyone, until next time, keep exploring, keep growing, and keep believing in the magic of your own becoming.
Yeah.